That's what I call it.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's call this meeting to order at 1:30.
Rudy Castellano,
Present.
Mike Sweeney called and said he wouldn't be able to make it today. He's not feeling well. So I marked him excused. Mike Cousins,
Here.
Mike Martinez,
Present.
Travis Hearn.
Present.
Maria Gilberry said she might come in at 2. She was tied up with something else as well. There is a quorum.
Okay, we'll get right into it here. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion. I second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Mike Martinez, a second by Rudy, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes, last meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I haven't read the minutes already beforehand. They looked okay to me. So I would like to make a motion that we approve the minutes of the June 13th meeting. I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Rudy, a second by Mike Martinez, all in favor?
Aye.
Approved? Opposed? Okay, no public input.
None today.
We move to business items. Number A, committee recommendation for approval. Recommendation for approval of addendum number 3 to contract 3665-2020 with Glorieta Geoscience Incorporated for professional services related to water rights and hydrology.
So the way I understand it, these people have been doing business at the city already?
They've been here for
Regular vendors. Yeah. So we're just looking at continuing business with the same people.
Yeah, just renewing the contract.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? Travis, could you give me a copy of their water rights book that they have it?
Or Gloria?
Yes. Please.
Yeah.
So if the recommendation is to continue with this company and evidently they're doing a good job, Travis?
Yeah, they do a really good job. We work well with them.
Okay. Do they answer your calls when you call them?
Oh, yeah.
They're on the top.
They're always there. They can call pretty much.
So I make a motion, Mr. Chairman, that we approve addendum number 3 to contract, well, I guess they approve addendum number 3 to contract 3665-2020 with Glorieta. I'm sorry, I have to say it in Spanish. Glorieta
That's right.
Geoscience Incorporated for professional services related to water rights and hydrology.
Second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Rudy, a second by Mike Martinez, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, let's see. Same thing here with the recommendation for approval of addendum number 3 to contract 3661-2020 with the Medici Law Firm PC for legal representation and legal services relating to the city's water rights.
Again, they've been doing it for most 2 years already.
They pretty much have an answer for everything.
A perfect answer for it. As far as I know, I've never worked with them directly.
I'd say there's no perfect.
When it comes to water rights, you got to pretty much be on the ball. Yeah, can't be pushing around. Sure. Yes. I'll make a motion to approve addendum 3661-2020 with community law.
I second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Mike Martinez, a second by Rudy, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, moving right along to number 3. Recommendation for approval of addendum number 3 to contract 3673-2020 with the LEE Incorporated for maintenance and emergency repairs to city natural gas transmission.
On that one, we don't have much of a choice, and they recommended the vote to take care of business.
They're pretty good being on call, so
That's very important, especially with Thursday.
a 24-hour response time. They've always responded to time.
Actually, you have isolation valves all the way up to where it comes from. Hold on, what was?
Hold on. We don't know what that's
What would, did anybody know what the agency conditions were that had been met? Were there a number of them?
But they responded to.
Yeah.
Okay. I know they had one emergency, but I know.
Oh, no. What it talked about is, that it had been approved already, but then there were some things that needed to be done by double E, and I guess they didn't.
Are you talking about number 3?
No, 4. Was it, is it 3? 3. It reads for maintenance and emergency repairs. I don't know, I'm sorry. I'm not talking about that, I'm talking about 4. So yes, sorry, I withdraw the question. Withdraw the question. I'll ask it at the next one. So I make a recommendation with the chairman that we approve addendum number 3 to contract 3673-2020 with double E for maintenance and emergency repairs of city natural gas transmission. So this has been going on since the 2020 year. So this would be the 3rd year in the series.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a recommendation by Rudy, or a motion by Rudy, a second by Mike Martinez, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, number 4 is not for approval.
Okay.
Rebid. This item was approved on the June 13th, 2023 UAC meeting pending funding agency conditions which have been met.
This item was number 6 under committee recommendations at the last meeting. And the motion was made by Mike Sweeney for approval to award rebid 2023-19 to INC Solutions pending that they met the funding agency requirements, with the second by Mike Martinez, and the motion carried. The asterisk to it was whether or not they met the requirements and how to address any concerns the funding agency has, which is what they were working on now. I spoke with Maria. She told Travis and myself that they were, anything that they were at, the funding agency was asking for, they do have their understanding now that the conditions have been met.
The funding agency being the city?
The state
Okay, state.
and MFA.
So there is no action on this, it's been taken already, right?
Correct. She just wanted, this committee has already approved the item. She just wanted to come back and let you guys know that all the requirements have been met and it's going to be on the council agenda because it was pulled off of the last council agenda.
Very well. Okay, so recommendation for approval to award rebid 2023-20 track back to TLC Company Incorporated.
Where's that TLC located? They're on the LA.
I would have the same question, Mike, about whether with the location and why do we have to go so far to get this done? So,
Right, that's the next.
And what is the track back?
The track back systems of the water treatment plant in the in the mixers. It cleans all the sludge off the bottom, all the sediment, segregated vacuum, goes back and forth against the floor.
And they come in like once a week, once a month.
Well, it's a system that has to be installed. That stays in the concrete tanks there.
And they're the ones that maintain it.
They're the ones that are gonna have, my understanding, they're the ones that are gonna install the system.
Install it.
It's a system that's in place, but it's in need of repair. You know, it's pretty old. It's ready to put an upgraded.
And I'm sure you have a bunch of people that on that system.
Yeah. And it's kind of like an automated system. That once it's installed, it run periodically. Cleans the floor, make sure all that sediment that comes out of the water gets removed from the inches of bases, discharge bases.
And the lot of this, the water, the effluent water, I don't know that's town, but where does the one that's not go back to?
From the water treatment plant.
The difference, I don't know, I'm sorry, Mike, I didn't interrupt.
Oh, good.
There's only $10,000 between that and, his plumbing. And I bet you a lot of the difference, I mean, I know you're gonna have to pay them today, is that included in the bid? That coming from Albuquerque to
Yes,
us?
GLC was the,
Yeah, they were a little bidder, but I'm saying,
and it should include remobilization. So
one of the things that we have to realize is we're in the process of trying to provide employment for the local people if possible. And I just can't see, if it's that much of a difference, only $10,000 is not enough to go with the highest bidder.
That's the design that you got as far as maybe, everything that the PLC's trained for that. I guess it's building trained for that. Are they gonna have to hire somebody from PLC to come and do it for work for it?
they might have to get some contractors.
Well, that's such about it. So then that goes totally against what we're thinking is, I know there's nobody here in town that do that. Yeah.
You said there is somebody in town or there isn't?
That's the first I've heard that. But it would be nice to get some more local strain on that.
Yeah.
Just that I did that.
Do you, Travis, do you know what the position of the city council is on something that's?
I don't.
If I was a councilor, I'd probably be concerned that there's somebody locally that could do it for $10,000 less or more, actually, that's higher than I think. That's, I guess it's if we could add it into the minutes, it's one of my recommendation, I don't know if the rest of the council.
It might be a procurement thing. It's
Well, I understand that we're looking at a little bit, but you can also, you know.
Because just like not wearing a seatbelt, those items become a projectile. Why do you think that is? It's because somebody has been.
Did you get it?
So anyhow, I would not vote yes for the motion unless we could add an addendum, a recommendation for this committee that they try to accommodate local people.
What is the number?
So I don't know where you would add that or how that would be added, but I think it's.
It's gonna have to be a Maria figure item,
So can we,
table that.
I recommend we table this for discussion on the next meeting.
Okay.
Because that is pretty much what we're shooting for here is life within the town.
Yeah. Because if only one person sold alligators and you needed an alligator, you'd go with that one person, but there's two people that are selling alligators.
If that minimal of difference,
You make note of that.
Yeah.
Travis, thank you. Okay, let's move to number 6, recommendation for approval to award RFP 2023-24 for the wastewater treatment plant systems planning, design, and construction phase to HDR, Bohanna, Houston, and Mosley Corporate Associates. All three of them.
Here's what it is. Was it a joint bid or did they, bid separately?
I think they probably did it separately,
Yeah,
but I think she wants to award them all, they all do different,
raises,
phases, different type of engineering.
would it have to specify that or not necessarily?
I don't think so.
Mhm.
But it's the system planning, it's for the whole system of the water treatment. plant.
Now this is for, you want to be out for it.
I believe so.
It would take off you anyways.
There's one for piping, the HDR does a lot of piping and orders, installation and stuff. Well, I'm in Houston, so from other engineers, they do piping and stuff. Olsen already knows the system.
It's a joke.
That's all they're doing for her.
Yeah, and I think that's, an administrative decision that the people that have experience with working with these companies can make, you know. But that's what I'm saying with the other, that we just passed the same thing. Still make an administrative decision to change the whole process.
But we followed back the council to decide.
Yeah, the council would decide.
This recommendation committee. But the advice that the advisory board's giving, I think is pretty well situated at a point where it is in favor of the city. And it's
So with that said, I'd like to make a recommendation that we approve the award of for the request for proposal number 2023-24, which is a first year grant, I suppose, for the TP system planning, design and construction phase engineering services to HDR, Bohanna, Houston, and Wilson, Corbin and Associates.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Rudy, a second by Mike Martinez, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I thought it was on the monthly day,
Shouldn't give me no.
project status or anything. Announcements.
Mr. Chair.
We're almost done
Oh,
here.
I thought it was at 1:30.
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, there wasn't much on here really, you know, to. Any member comments, Rudy?
Basically, just what I said, you know, that I think the city council should consider, you know, getting local people to do as many of the services as possible, just to continue the good faith, you know, working with people in the area that can do the job.
Like, what kind of jobs?
We were talking
That
about
was about this,
the bids were supposed $10,000 difference, and it was still good at the TLC. Well, you know, it's recommended the TLC get the job rather than Hayes.
And then you go to mayor and council, and the council says, how come everything's going to Hayes?
Yeah, it's too bad, you know.
You know,
Well, the answer could
it's
be
either here or there.
local workers.
They also have a lot on their plate too.
yeah, they do.
The haze, well, not.
This one's for the sludge removal from the plant to,
From the water treatment.
well, yeah, the water treatment plant. Oh, from the water treatment plant to where?
It's on the base of it, they have the mixers.
Oh, okay.
Where we mix the polymer and all that stuff to get all the sedimentation out of the water.
Oh, okay.
And this track back system, actually, it's like a vacuum that vacuums the bottom of the floor. And that pulls out all that and you dump it into our lagoons.
Oh,
And then
okay.
from there, it goes to the wastewater.
Oh, wastewater.
It's pumped down there.
Yeah, and they haul it to the wastewater
It's
department?
piped.
Oh, it's piped. A central pipe? Where does that pipe go?
It runs up Highway 65 from the water treatment plant to, I think, by Stella Lane, by Diego's, by Kegs, and then comes down Indiana Road, and goes on Wargos Road, all the way down to New York. And dumps into a manhole, and then from there gets gravity fed to the sewer system.
We don't see any around about that one.
Is that the one that's on the, west side of the highway?
Yeah,
One in front of that little house I got there? Yeah. This is
Oh.
sewer in the house.
yeah, it's the force main.
So that one can't go through the sewer line either.
It does, but it has to be pumped all the way up to
Oh, okay.
Cinder Road.
Oh, from there it goes.
There
It gets
and then it's
a.
gravity.
So the world policy on that city.
Yeah, on that.
So how would we get a private contractor from here to do that? Mr. Stan?
Well, Hazel's claiming that they can.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, it's just to install the system into the tank.
Yeah,
The piping and all that's already there.
but the only ones are really Hayscale.
Yeah.
They're probably licensed for that. Other than that, there's nothing else. And then try and go local. I mean, a lot of people, I mean, you can't hire people, not even for concrete work.
Because they don't have the degrees or the.
People don't want to work.
No.
You can't find employees.
That's terrible. I can't find it.
We have one contractor on board and he's busy with us, but he's got other work with West and everybody else. And he can't find employees to.
Well, I just, Mr. Councilman, and not to beg the question, but TLC would have the same problem. It appears to be a national problem.
You know, TLC they pay well and they have good employees.
Now, that's a big difference.
Yeah,
to pay.
TLC, they're big.
Mhm.
They're a big company in Albuquerque. And they have the manpower, but they pay good. You know, and that's a company we have to pay good too, you know, in the
Right.
contracts. Because we get them out here from Albuquerque or Santa Fe, wherever they come from.
So, our issue was just, at least my issue was to make sure that we get as many local trade with local people as possible. But as you say, if the workforce isn't there and the pay isn't there, well, they can't compete with TLC.
Yeah, that's a lot of, that happens a lot with the wastewater and the water. Because when you gotta be liable and you gotta be certified and bonded and all that. People around here, they don't even wanna go get a CRS contract. They don't think it's too much people. You know, so it's hard, it's difficult.
Yeah.
To get local people. We're very fortunate that Electric Horseman does a lot of work for the city. They just had a big project there, doing the lighting at the airport.
Right.
They're 90% completed, but, and they've had other good projects with the city, but not everybody's up to par on their certifications, licenses and all that.
And these are insights that you guys have acquired during your tenure, right? You've learned about all these things that the average person like myself would not know,
Yeah,
which is good. I mean, and that's why,
I think everybody's struggling.
Yeah.
You know, all cities are struggling. And I think that's why a lot of times our projects, when they're ready to go, you can't say no. Because the other battle on the other hand is the rise of cost of materials.
if you wait.
You know, since the pandemic, they've raised up to triple the price. And it's very difficult. But these guys have to rebid a lot of projects sometimes because they're over budgeted.
That was a rebid item.
Yeah, that one too.
It's been rebid once already.
No, you see, sometimes it's because we're in the rural area and we can't get anybody to bid on it. Sometimes because there's nobody to bid on it here, and sometimes because of the cost is over budgeted. And I'll tell you that nowadays, I mean, even resurfacing the airport now for crack sealing was over budgeted. And there's only one company that did for it. You know, a lot of the projects are coming in over bid. And we don't have the money and it's hard. So you put it all together and sometimes they work with you and sometimes they don't. Well, it's been hard.
That's the only comment that I
I
have.
don't know if you noticed, Rudy, but there's a letter of recommendation from the engineers for DLC on this project and stuff too.
But the thing is that, the engineers, as well are from out of town,
Yeah,
so, you know, they gotta cover. No, sorry. They try to help each other out.
There's no local engineers here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so the, of course, probably associate more with the out of towners. But the point is that as long as the city council keeps this in mind and has, I'm sure because of your tenure there, it's serving in on the city council that you look a lot of these little insights that we don't know you do, and that's good. You know, but that's why we need to make these recommendations to you for in case. And so, in my opinion, I didn't want to vote on number 5 because it was so close, $10,000, and you're going to go with somebody from out of town. You know, but I can see what you're saying now too. If you have the workforce and the pay that is there to pay them, and it gets done without stalling, because once you start reneging or falling apart on what you're not supposed to do, and you got, like he said, too much on your plate, then the ones that inherit the cost of the city, you're not going to be able to keep up with the cost of materials going up and stuff.
I'll give you 2 great examples. One of them is our city attorney's position.
Mhm.
The city charter says, and the people voted on this, and they're the ones that create the city charter. They voted on this and they said, we want our in-house city attorney to live here in Las Vegas. No, we haven't, that vacant position for close to a year now. And we picked up the salary, and we still haven't been able to get anybody to apply for it. Nobody wants it, nobody applies for it. So, but they gotta live here in Vegas. So now we're doing an RFP and putting it out there to the nation. And now we're including any firm that can apply for it. And let's see what happens that route.
Right.
But we try and do local before we move out. But it's hard for us to have directors and city managers that are living in Albuquerque working for the city. And that's part of it. The other one is the economic development director's position has been vacant for over a year now. No one applies for it. For whatever reason, I don't know what reasons. Maybe they don't like Marin Council, maybe they don't like Las Vegas, maybe they don't like the seller, maybe, I don't know, maybe a lot of maybes. But we get, the opportunities are there. These guys have, 5 vacant positions. They can't get no one with a CDL license. You know, trash, solid waste truck drivers, can't find any. 2 guys misses, you know, we're in a bind. You know, a lot of positions, you know, we had 54 a while back. I don't know what we have now, vacant. But people, this pandemic, and then all these checks being submitted to through the government and all these programs and everything, I guess people are better off not working. They're not thinking about getting old and about having a retirement check. I don't know how they're gonna do it then, but you know, it's been really, but we, Marin Council, I assure you, keep in mind that we want locals to apply for these jobs and so forth. But I mean, we're limited. Even the asphalt, sometimes we gotta go pick it up in Santa Fe and come deliver it and on the ground over here. So it's tough.
But again, you know, just keeping in mind that you do have a well, not the World College, but a vocational, that we could, you know, encourage them to offer coursework, which they probably do. I mean, you know, I know they do have a CDL class now. How if anybody can get into it, I don't know. But
Yeah, anybody can take the class. We send our employees up there.
to take the CDL class.
Yes. We hire laborers that need to get a CDL. We send them to the training.
And what happens when they graduated? Any?
Yeah, we probably, let's see, just out of my department, we've had probably 6.
And they stuck around?
Yeah, they stuck around. There's a couple that have left.
That's the other thing that I was going to say that you're bringing up is that, okay, so you train them But you can't pay them what somebody else can pay them with a CDL license, so. I understand the recruitment is hard.
Yeah, that's what we do with the police department too. We give them a bonus to come here, $2,000. And then they get certified and then they go to Santa Fe or Albuquerque where they get paid $5 more. I don't know if they're gonna use it on gas or not, but.
Yeah.
You know, either way, so it's hard to retain. So,
Yeah, I can see.
yeah.
Either way, did you guys have a big job ahead of you?
Yeah, that's every time it's dealing with public issues.
Anyway, for your information, Councilman, we went ahead and tabled this one topic so we could talk it over with Maria at the next meeting and stuff like that, and just see what she has to say about the $10,000 difference.
But it doesn't imply that you won't be voting on it, but we just wanted to put our,
Yeah, and on something like that, I mean, we can't manipulate the system. If staff goes and puts it out and that's what the numbers are, that's what comes in, and even if it's $1, I mean, we gotta buy that. It don't matter if it's, I mean, they already have the point systems as to what, you know, like, if they have a
Rating
rating
scale,
sheet, and they have their point system and all that, and everything's included in there, so anything different that would staff would change there or anything like that, I mean, that's already become criminal. And that's, I guess, so, but, yeah. Sometimes it's hard to swallow those things, but I mean, what other choice do you have? I mean, if somebody has a better idea, or somebody that's going to do it out of their pocket and stuff like that. I mean, we're having employees now taking out silt from the Dragons River, in the diversion dams that we have up there, because everybody else is tied up pretty much. And then the cost of it is skyrocketed. So like all that will get reimbursed from FEMA in the federal government. We make the best decisions that we can. I know Maria's at the summit at Luna with the mayor and the city manager today, and that's where they're trying to solve all these issues too, and acquire funding for a lot of this stuff.
and the thing is, if you were to wait, give extra weight to a proposal to a person that's local, you mess up the process because others will say, well, then, we don't want to bid it. They bring their locals. So I can understand that.
That's a very delicate matter, and that's come. You see a lot of the signatures out here. We open up those bids because you have the bidders themselves, and then you have staff, you have finance, you have everyone that's involved in it.
And they all have legal representation.
Yeah, so there's no politics, cheating or nothing like that on there. We live in a crazy world.
Touch. Okay, but, well. Something.
Okay, any member comments, like? Next regular meeting is scheduled for August 8th, 2023 at 1:30 p.m. Motion to adjourn.
So
Adjourn at 2:04.
I just.